So what's up, everybody? This is your boy Jonathan, just getting off of work like usual. So let's talk about some core issues today. And the reason I wanted to talk about core issues because in the other video when I talked about human touch and stuff like that, realized that a lot of people don't get that and a lot of people have core issues. So let's talk about that, right? So when I was growing up, right, so you know, I've had men in my life who, you know, would tell me really graphic stuff about, you know, intimacy and relationships, about people who I didn't really need to know about, and especially at an 8-year-old. And I mean, especially at the age of 8 years old. And you know, that really hurt me because, you know, it always looked like that was, when they would tell me things, the way they looked at me, it always looked like they were going to try to do something with me. And that's why when they would say things like that, it was just too much for me. And I grew up getting sexually harassed by a lot of men when I was growing up. A lot of men. You know, some of these stories are hard to tell, but I was almost raped one time, which is sad. And I thank God nothing happened to me. But because of that, it has always made it hard for me to be around over-sexualized men. I mean, over-sexual men. Or like, you know, men that are very sexually active and love sex and stuff like that. It's always, I can't be around them because it just, psychologically, it feels like they are, you know, maybe something would happen. So how this affects me is like, when I've been in mixed groups of men and women, the men a lot of times would ruin it for me with the women. And then they'd be like, oh, Jonathan's weird, this, that, and the other. And they would ruin it for me. So that's one reason why I don't really hang out with a lot of men or have a lot of male friends like that. Because it's just like they would go and snitch. And, you know, that's one of my core issues, you know, something I have to deal with. Another thing is, I had a father growing up, but he really didn't know what he was doing with the ladies because he had a girlfriend that turned into his wife, and that was it. His first girlfriend turned into his wife. And so whenever I would ask him for advice, wait on God, wait on God, wait on God. And then finally, maybe God doesn't have anything for you. And he didn't understand about the times, the cultures, you know, he didn't understand how technology plays a part into it. He didn't understand any of that. And so that's another thing that I've had to deal with in my life, you know. And the same thing, you know, having a lot of women abandon me in my life, you know. I've always looked up to women, and when I met a woman that I really liked, I looked at her beyond just sexual, you know, as a mother figure, as a sister, a aunt, a grandma that I never had. And that kind of ruined some of my relationships in the past. And so things like that, like, can really, like, core issues like that can really hurt you as a person and make it hard for you to function around women, make it hard for you to function in normal places, right? Stuff like that. And so, you know, you have to kind of work through that like I did. And I'm still working through stuff, but I was able to work through it enough so that I know how to kind of navigate myself around that kind of stuff so I can, you know, have a normal dating life, right? And excuse me. And, you know, the other thing is this, you might be perfectly 100% normal, but there's a lot of women out there who, you know, have been around the block so much, they slept with so many men, they've been hit on so much that they only, you know, look at a man as in his sexual value because that's all they know, is men presenting themselves with this sexual value. And you may be an ordinary guy who's just chilling, hanging out, whatever, nice guy, but they're gonna look at you as in somebody who's not presenting, you know, a sexual value for them. because that's just how they see the world. And you know, a lot of superficial women are like that. And so, like, the point is that I'm trying to make this video about is you have to kind of understand that, you know, sometimes you may have some core issues that may affect the way you act around people, or you may treat them differently or weird or strange, and then you may get discriminated by that and get shut down. Or on the other hand, like, you may hang out with superficial women, try to hang out with superficial women that have their own issues, like I just explained a second ago, and then they're gonna cut you down hella quick because of the fact that you don't present yourself with enough sexual value. And like I said, you may be a good looking guy or whatever, may have all your shit together, but you know, some women, it's just like you have to present yourself in a certain way. So that's it for this video. If you like what I talk about, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll get back to you. All right, I'm out, y'all. Peace.